Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just want to do a overview, give an overview, and talk about what this group is about. Uh, I know a lot of you all already have a taste of it, but this will help those that are new or haven't been with us that long. And before I do that, I just want to get one introduction from Janine. If you want to just give us a little bit about yourself, Janine, tell us what made you join the group and maybe what goals you have, you know, as far as holistic living. You can just unmute yourself and share.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. I got to get used to not seeing faces. um, so what made me want to join the group is because I want to walk in um, the health that God has designed for us to walk in.
Okay.
Um, I definitely have had some physical challenges, and but I have made some changes, and I've made done a lot of research. Um, and so yeah, that's pretty much
Okay.
it for me.
Okay. Goals? Any goals?
Um, of course, uh, definitely one of my goals is to get off of medicine.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Most definitely.
Over it.
Understood.
Uh, and honestly, I really was looking for a holistic doctor
Oh,
because I'm
yeah.
yes, I am over uh
Oh, you mean like
the
here in
medical.
Jacksonville to see?
Yes, here in Jacksonville, or that
Okay.
Well,
a
I
doctor.
guess I won't do. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, we
Oh,
got,
she's the holistic doctor. Well, you may if
we
you
can,
can wait a minute, if you can reach out and touch me from where you at.
yeah,
Wherever you are, we deliver.
we
Oh,
can
yeah,
help
Well,
that's
we
you.
send.
Let me introduce her. That's Mildred.
Hmm.
I call her Mama Mildred. She's our
Hmm.
co-leader. She is a naturopathic doctor. So
Hmm.
between her and me, I'm sure we can give you a lot of information that, a holistic doctor may, uh, be about the same. It's just that, we won't be able to be like your primary physician or nothing like that.
Hmm.
okay.
So,
And you
but
said natto. How do you?
naturopath.
Uh-huh. That's what I am.
Oh,
I am
naturopath. Okay.
a naturopathic doctor. I am 93 and I take no drugs,
Oh,
just
wow,
herbs.
that's amazing.
Just herbs. That's all I take. I still get around, and people see me and they say, "You're 93 and you're still walking." I said, "Yes, I'm still walking." And then they see me get in the car. They say, "You're still driving?" Yes, I'm still driving.
Wow.
Who takes care of you? I say, I tell them I take care of myself. And they cannot believe it. But herbs heal. They keep the body together. And
Well,
this is what I do.
you look amazing.
There you go.
Thanks.
Well, that's what you got here. You got a lot of resources here. I can tell you that. Also, I have a bunch of resources that as you come to this class, I can turn you on to, and because I've been on this journey for over 30 years myself,
Yep.
and I've learned and come across a lot of practitioners, herbalists, naturopaths, holistic healers, so on and so forth. So, it's a lot of information that you and resources you'll be able to get just from being in this small group.
Okay. And I had another goal I forgot to mention. I want to be like her. But
Like
honestly,
me.
that's I want to be in in shape, and be able to just move around. Like I can't think of that lady name, but she's 79, and I mean you wouldn't even believe her
Are you
body.
you talking about somebody that is at the church?
No, she is. She's on YouTube. What's her name?
Okay.
She's the vegan chef.
Oh, you talking about
Oh,
Chef Babbitt?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I've met Chef Babbitt. Because
Yeah.
I used to live in California.
she's the one from the Stuff You Eat.
Right. She has a
I
restaurant in
love it.
Inglewood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have a lot
Yeah.
of I learned how to cook from Chef Babbitt.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
She
So
has some
that's good
amazing
that you
dishes.
came across her. You came across her on your own, huh?
Yeah, well, my sister, my baby sister, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, so she went through, chemo, went through a lot,
Okay.
and she did her own research, and that's how she got in just in touch with her and
Good.
Dr.
Good.
Bobby, what's his name, Bobby Price. So
Okay.
yeah, she exposed me to a few of them. So that's how.
Okay. Good. Good. Okay.
Did
So you
she
got to
did she
start.
conquer the cancer? Did she conquer the
Oh
cancer?
yeah, she is healed well, and
Wonderful.
actually is on a plant diet
Oh,
as we
right.
speak. So
Good.
she's doing well.
That's good.
Wonderful.
That's good to hear. Well, that's something that, we talk about, support. I have those. I talk about Chef Babbitt in here too, as far as, the different foods that I like to eat and prepare because that's how I got into cooking this type of food. Earlier years, I didn't make or cook my food. I wasn't interested in it, but when I met her in person in Los Angeles at a event, she really inspired me when I tasted, her cooking, and I just took it. I have my own sauce now that I make,
Ah,
just from being inspired by her, and a lot of my recipes I share too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. Good information. Anybody else, while we're talking, want to express something, have something they like to share with the group? Go ahead right now before I get into talking myself about what we're going to be doing. Just unmute yourself if you have something to share and go ahead.
Happy to be back.
Okay. All right.
Round two.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Oh, that was it? I thought you.
I'm just so excited. I'm ready to dive in. So,
Well, you know me now. I mean, I could go get that video. No, I'm gonna do an overview right now and just talk about some things that some of we're gonna do during the summer and some during the fall. The summer is very short; it's only 6 weeks. So today, meeting now, we only have 5 weeks left, and it's some things that I may do for the summer that I normally don't do. I'm gonna do some things out of the formal or norm that I do in my class, like in the fall and the other semesters. So you all that's past members will get some things, some information that is different, and some of these other things. Let me just give y'all an insight on what that's going to be. Of course, most of you know we talk about the mind, body, and spirit a lot. I like to take the Christian perspective, starting out with the mind, the body, and the spirit, and how to focus on your spirit because it's the spirit that we want to lead us in our journey. It's the spirit that we want to focus on to take the lead over our mind and our body. And I do a lot of that. It's actually a complete video. And all of you past members know you can go to my YouTube channel. After class, I'm going to send an email for those that's new, and it'll have my YouTube. It'll have a link to my YouTube channel. So you're going to get that. Just look out for email after class. And that's probably one of the first videos that I did and Christian content. It's in the playlist, Christian content. I talked about the mind, body, and spirit. So I get into it somewhat in detail and deep and talk about the different parts of the mind and the relationship of the mind to holistic living. I mean, get into cognitive and affective things and also defining what the mind consists of, the different feelings, the attitudes, the emotions, and we talk about those things. So it's pretty well to have a base, I feel, in understanding the mind, body, and spirit when it comes to holistic living from a Christian perspective. Now, we also get into talking about traditions. I get into talking about traditions, these American traditions, habits, different habits that you have. And you need those types of things in order to make a change, in order to, make a change into holistic living. Okay, you need to understand how traditions and habits have an effect or on you and your whole mindset and perspective as far as living holistically. Also, the holistic, what is holistic? From a Christian point of view, okay? What is not, okay, holistic from a Christian point of view? Uh, we get into a lot of different alternative treatments and modalities. And, all of these holistic modalities and treatments aren't necessarily Christian. There are other religions when it comes to holistic health. There are other modalities that are based in other religions, like Hinduism, like Chinese or Buddhism, different things like that. And we're going to talk about those. I probably will get into those more in the fall semester, not in the summer. Those are more the traditional foundational things that I like, people to have when it comes to holistic living. Eating, okay, what you eat, how you eat, whole foods, what's a nutrient, being nutrient dense. I get into talking about all these things because it's something called live food that I like to talk about. And to be holistic, you should be aware and know what is live food. You know, live food can just be translated right over to God's food. Okay. And one of my favorite scriptures is First Genesis 29 through 31. Okay. Uh, it talks about how the fruit bearing tree is meat. That's your meat. And we get off into a lot of different scriptures that can support holistic living and that talks about live food or God's food. We get into nutrient density and what is a nutrient. Okay. Uh, Processed foods, diets versus lifestyle changes. I always like to talk about lifestyle changes. I don't believe in diets uh, because they don't work really. It's a lifestyle that you have to acquire, and I've been living this lifestyle for over 30 years, and I'm telling you, it works. It's been working, and like you said, Janine, you want to be like Dr. Mildred, Dr. Dumas. I do too. I want to be self-sufficient and don't, want to have anybody to come have to take care of me and help me put on my clothes or take a bath. I don't want that. So that's why I've been living this life for 30 years. And I just look forward to living it, just like Dr. Dumas is doing now. Okay. It can be done. We got the living testimony here, the living person right here with us. So, it can be done. And there's some things on food prep I get into sometimes, and the preservation of food. This is a video I have too on my YouTube channel that talks about food preservation and eating the best foods and the worst foods. So I hope this is giving you some idea of perspective. I mean, even some of the past members, some of the stuff you may not have heard or I may not have talked about yet, but I hope it's giving you all some perspective uh, about what to expect in this group and what will be coming. Anybody have anything they want to share? I'm going to give you this opportunity because I don't want to be the one just running my mouth all the time. If you have something to share or a question, even just unmute, ask your question, or share whatever it is you like to share. Now, I'll also get into the nervous system because I feel, and this is maybe kind of an affinity for me. It's not just an affinity. I know it's facts there because good health and ill health, different incidents or things may happen to you in life because of your nervous system, either not being in good order or something to that effect. Uh, we get into talking about the autonomic, the somatic, the sympathetic, and the parasympathetic nervous system. The nervous system is so important to me in living a stress free life because that's what I try to do. I try to live stress free and pain free. Pain free and stress free. That's the deal. And we get into different ways to relieve stress. Okay, we talk about fight or flight. We talk about sleep and sleep disorders because sleep is very important in order to be healthy. If you're not sleeping well, you're going to have problems, living a holistic life, being healthy if you don't get good rest. And I go into it's an entire class I go into talking about the nervous system. And I have some professionals that come also uh, that I have talk about the nervous system. I think this is a doctor, actually. He's a medical doctor, but he has, information also that's holistic because he gets into talking about the nervous system and tell us about the vagus nerve, which is one of the things that we learned about in past semesters and how to be calm and how to be stress free almost at all times by affecting the vagus nerve. And he also have some information on fasting. I mean, I talk a lot about fasting. I have others too that have information on fasting because where we kind of left off in this past semester, I was leading the group toward fasting daily. Okay. Fasting daily. Yeah, I know you're probably used to just doing the fast a couple times a year, especially like with Impact Church. I think we do it twice a year, the beginning of the year, and then towards the end, I believe they do another one. But those that been in this class, and some of you may know the benefits of fasting. And the benefits of fasting is not just spiritual, it's scientific. And so I like to bring the both of those, the scientific part and the spiritual part. Because scientifically, we have what's called a circadian clock or our biological clock. And that biological clock tells us when to wake up, when we're hungry, when, it has a lot of different things that it tells us. And actually, our bodies are fasting from 4 a.m. to 12 noon. So this is something that we started in the past semester of getting into fasting for breakfast because just like it says, breakfast. You're breaking the fast. So we got into learning how to fast without not breaking it so much or so harshly, by eating live foods, by juicing, by drinking live green drinks and things like that. So hopefully a lot of you all are still on that journey where you're fasting at breakfast time, uh, because that's what's going to get you to uh, this health, this holistic health that you want for a long time. Okay, long term gains.
I I have a couple questions,
Go ahead.
if it's okay. My first one, you mentioned sleep.
Right.
I, I noticed that when I tried to shift and just make myself go to bed earlier, I went through the process, just going to bed like really early. I struggled with trying to, I don't know what, I just struggled with trying to get myself to go to sleep. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I literally set up almost 3, 4 hours trying to get myself to go back to sleep. So is
Understandable.
that just your body like resisting the
Well,
change?
let me ask you this: what type of shift do you work, or what type of days have you spent active? What kind of hours?
So I work from 7:30 to 4:30.
Is that AM or PM?
Yes, AM, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Okay.
So because I get up so early, which is around 5 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
I really have to, go to bed early. When I tried going, I think it was I tried 8:30. I think it was, and I struggled. I was doing a fast at the same time when I was doing the sleep, because I was working on, um, just trying to get my body in line, just
Okay.
spiritually and health wise. And I had a hard time with the
Okay.
sleep part for some
Understand.
reason. I'm like, it's almost like my body, it fights me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
And rest.
change. It takes, your body takes a while to change. And we're going to be talking about that change and different attitudes you may have. But I was asking you a few questions to see, because a lot of times it's things that you're doing in your life that may bring about this resistance or challenge,
Okay.
because I know myself, I used to work graveyard all the time, for a long time, rather. I worked graveyard for probably over 10 years. So I still today can stay up to 12 a.m. or 12:30 a.m., but my wife can tell you I can rise at 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning. I don't need as much sleep as the average person. I can get 6 hours, and that will be sufficient for me, 6 or 7. But that's things that I've done in my life to try to overcome working at graveyard. That's why I was asking you about what shift you work. So it could be some from the fast, maybe because you were doing a fast during that time. But if you're not used to going to bed early, it's going to take something for your body to adjust to. Of course, there are different aids out there, herbally, okay, meditation, different modalities like that can help you, because they holistically they say you should prepare for sleep. You should take an hour to prepare for sleep. So did you ever prepare for sleep, or did you do things to help you, Janine, to prepare for sleep?
Yeah, I definitely make sure because I was fasting, so I wasn't watching TV or wasn't on social media.
Okay.
So I probably was reading the Word of God, or even or my notes. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Because again, I was fasting, so my focus, what I mean, was
Okay.
just on, yeah, and I just didn't understand why
Okay.
I could not.
Anybody want to share? If anybody had these challenges and have something they can share?
I can share a few things that work for me. I know everybody's
Okay.
different,
Oh, true,
um,
true.
but I have read about lowering like the temperature at night. Helps your body. So
In
like
the house?
taking
In the house you talking about, or?
yeah, taking like a shower or a
Okay.
bath at night, and then
Okay.
when you
Okay.
get out of that water, your body starts to cool off. Which, having like a comfortable temperature when you're sleeping, is really important for your body to just rest comfortably, right? So just that change of temperature, getting out of the shower, getting comfortable for bed. Also, I use a weighted eye mask.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
I use a eye
So
mask too.
that helps.
Yes, and the fact that it's weighted does something because it's
Right.
very like comforting, and it's really like encouraging you to keep your eyes closed because you
Mm.
feel like a very gentle pressure around not your eyeballs, because it has like a little section so that there's no pressure on your eye, but just feeling it, around like your eye socket and everything. It's just kind of like a gentle, it's like someone having their hand on your back, just kind of comforting you. And then it keeps your eyes closed because you don't want to take off the mask. So if you kind of like, your body gets trained to just try to relax into it, and
There you go.
just blocking that light, little lights from electronics and things like that, really keep us stimulated. So just blocking off that light, changing the temperature, maybe even doing some kind of exercise, not right before bed, but, in the evening could help your body want to rest a little bit more. But I think what you said, Lester, too, it just takes time, right? They say it takes like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 7 weeks or something to really start a new habit,
Yeah, to make a
something like
change.
that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can diffuse lavender. That helps.
There
Or
you
I
go.
might put a few drops on my pillow.
There you go. You getting
Diffused.
all this, Janine?
Yeah, I'm writing it down. Lavender on my pillow because I know it's mostly I know the issue really is it's my thought life. It's I don't know. It's like my imagination, my thoughts. They're running.
Okay. Okay, got
Yeah.
you. Have you ever meditated?
Yes, I used to do meditations. I don't know what's the guy Joe Dispenza. I think I used to do some of his like meditations.
Okay.
I used to do those a lot. I stopped doing those and I just switched it over, to spending my time with God, praise
Maybe,
and worship,
maybe you want to revisit it in a different way,
Yeah.
because you can also meditate on the word.
Okay.
Okay. You can. And I get into different things a little, I think. I probably haven't talked a lot about what I do for sleep, but yeah, that's you're on the right path. It's just
Okay.
you got to give your body a chance, because we can't change overnight. Some people say they can, and actually some people can change quick, but for the majority of us, it takes time.
Okay.
So just being consistent and being open, and then of course your prayer life, and always speaking to the Holy Spirit, to
Hmm.
guide and lead you on these different paths.
One more thing I'll add too, just related to that, is, I'm the kind of person that's similar where if I have a lot on my mind, it's really hard to shut it off. I feel like I'm doing my most productive thinking late at night. So it's like, it's going good, so how do you turn it off? So, but for me, it's like I have to get it out of there. So, looking ahead at the next day, what else I have planned for the week, priorities, to-do list, right? But, turning that into prayer. So tying that all together, right? Praying for all the things that are on our mind, it's going to help like get that out so that we can have that peace and that rest. And so, that's real productive for me.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that
Yeah.
answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's these are things that we can get into. I can talk about, you know, because this is an area dealing with the nervous system that's been a big part in my life. I had problems with anxiety. Okay, now just try to imagine trying to go to sleep when you got anxiety problems. It's no joke. And it was things I got into, different herbs I used to use, especially when I was working graveyard. It's a lot of different herbs like Dr. Mildred was saying, lavender is one I love. We have several diffusers and atomizers around our house, and I diffuse lavender on a regular. I diffuse peppermint uh, for keeping me, energized and awake
Energy.
during the daytime. And then I diffuse a number of different essential oils. Uh, oh, somebody's coming in. All right, must have got kicked out. So I diffuse a lot of different uh, essential oils, throughout the house at all different times of the day. And I also have a piece of equipment that we use. It's like an air machine. It puts out negative ions. And I think that's what got me to where I don't have to sleep as much because it gives you a real deep sleep and it restores your body from on a cellular level. And after sleeping with this thing running, I know my wife can tell you about. I don't know if she has some testimony she might can give about it, but you get a real good deep sleep, and that's what it's all about when want to benefit from sleep. This is a deep sleep, so it's a lot of different modalities and things that we can cover uh, in this group as far as stress and deep sleep or good sleep, quality sleep.
Now, what did you say about the deep sleep? How?
That I have a machine. I have an air machine that puts
Oh,
out negative ions and helps you get a real good deep
oh,
sleep, and you wake up refreshed. Because
okay.
sometimes people can tell when you haven't gotten a good deep sleep, you wake up and you're kind of tired still, or you feel kind of energized somehow or something, and it's not in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Then you probably didn't get a good deep sleep because a good deep sleep, you wake up, you feel rested, because when I get out the bed, it's like, I can't lay down here no more. My
Mm.
body has restored itself and I'm ready to, start the day. And that's from a lot of different modalities and things I use. And, the aromatherapy. I mean, that's something I didn't talk about, but we probably can get into talking about that too, because I have some manuals and books also on aromatherapy, and they have some good recipes in them. So does that sound good? Help you, Janine?
Oh yes, sir. I'm taking notes.
Okay, good,
Taking
good.
notes now. I did have one more question. I don't
Sure.
mean to take over the meeting. Um, the I wrote it down. Oh, with medicine because I take blood pressure medicine,
Okay.
and then also think is for heart rate.
Okay.
Um, yeah, my blood pressure, heart rate is pretty good now, but
Good.
I always struggle with like making decisions with fasting because you mentioned fasting and things of that nature with your own, the blood pressure medicine. My
Okay.
doctor usually is, he's really not
What do you know
a fan.
what's the name of if you want to share?
Is diltiazem is one, and then
Okay. One that
metropolol is the other one.
yeah, okay. I don't use Metropolol, but I used to use Eliquis. Uh now I'm no doctor. Okay. I'm a holistic practitioner, and that's an area that I'm starting to get more information on. But just because it was a personal issue with me, I can tell you I have what they call atrial fibrillation. And atrial fibrillation is an illness where my heartbeat can go from beating regular and just go up the scale 120, 140, 200, 180, whatever. It can
Yeah.
go up there. And at that point, I had to call 911. And I've been in that situation a few times because that started back in 2023, I believe it is, when I had a stroke. And after that, I was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation. And then uh, I think it was a year later, months later after being diagnosed, I had a stroke and I dealt with those things in a holistic manner. I really didn't want to take that medication, but when I had the stroke, they wouldn't allow me to get out the hospital. And I saw they were holding me back from getting out because I didn't admit to wanting to take the prescription drugs. I kept talking about herbs. I take this herb. I take this herb. I want herb this. That. And
Ah,
it's like, oh, you can't do that. Those not approved
nope.
by FDA. You can't take those. And
Hmm.
so I started thinking, I said, wow, you haven't gotten out of here. And I was in there 3 days, I think. I said, and actually, they were talking about like releasing me. And I think they were holding me because I did not want to take prescription drugs. So I said, you know what? You got to do it if you want to get out the hospital. So I say, okay, I'll take the whatever the medicines. And they said, you will for real? I said, yeah, okay, come on. So I admitted, and they gave me diltiazem and Eliquis, actually, what I take. But what I've done, it took me a while, and I'm gonna tell you, okay, dealing with these pharmaceuticals, there are some contraindications that some herbs and things out there. This is something you're going to have to do research on your own. There's not a lot of people that I've come across that have this information. Some of them do because I'm with the company, me and Dr. Mildred, called Nature's Sunshine. We're actually distributors with them. I've been with this company since the 90s. We both have. I trust the quality of their herbs and everything. They have medical doctors that work in their company that know about uh, these herbs and how to use them with uh, these medicines. But they're not like readily available even to us at times. It's like little bits of information we may be able to get from different ones. But I have run across a book that I'll share with y'all. I don't have it right now, but I'm going to share. It's called Drug Mugger. And one of the ladies in our company told us about it. And it has information in that book about pharmaceuticals and herbs. Okay. But what I did, and I'm, like Angelique was saying earlier, everybody's body is different. Your body may not react the same way mine do. It took me a while. I got on the medications, and after a while, what I did, I started breaking it up because you should never take pharmaceuticals and herbs at the same time. I started breaking it up within 4 hours or more. So what I do, I start taking because I take at least about 12 different uh, herbal supplements, at least somewhere about 10, maybe 8 to 10. And I'd start taking them in the morning. And then, because I only had to take the diltiazem once a day. And I started taking that like around 6 or 7 in the evening. And it started working out for me. I had a little bumps in the road, yeah. And some of the herbal stuff I was taking, I found out don't go well with the diltiazem. And so I had to do that on my own though. But by spacing them far apart like that, and I know I shared this with James before, because we've talked about different pharmaceuticals and how to take them with the herbs. So you definitely have to space them out. So in the morning, I take my vitamins, my minerals, and herbal combinations. And then about 6 p.m. or 7 when I eat dinner, I take my pharmaceutical because I only have to take it once a day. I say again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell you how this is going to, help you or that you're going to be able to take it with no problem. I say again, this is something you're going to have to work out on your own. Uh, it's hard to come by a doctor or someone that have both information on pharmaceuticals and herbs that's willing to sit down and talk to you about it.
Yeah, I trust me. I've been trying to research it myself.
Well, I've been in this industry for 30 years. I don't know, Dr. Dumas probably could tell you the same because we were the same company. But like I say, there's people in this company, but it's not like, we can get those people on the phone. They work in our science lab. This company has a science lab. And I used to be able to call up sometime and talk to some of the people in the science lab, and they would tell me different things. But then, they start changing. They have laws in this country, okay? You don't know. The pharmaceutical industry basically kind of runs the Western medicine and the medical field in the United States. Okay. I'm just saying what it is. Okay. Anybody want to come at me for that? This is what, hey, this is what it is. And if you want to try to get information about both, it's like difficult, but now with the internet and with social media, there are people out there. One of these doctors that I had in a past class, I think I don't know if he works with Mayo, but he's like, well, from what I heard, he say on his videos that he's like one of those that's in demand. And we're going to probably see his video talking about the nervous system, and he talks about other things. But you also, I must caution you have to be careful because, okay, social media and the internet is big and wide. There's no certifications on there for people to talk about this stuff. You don't know who's certified, licensed, or, able to talk about this stuff like that. So that's where you have to be careful too. But like I say, I do have a book that I came across, and one of our members of the company we with, Nature Sunshine, she uses this book and it's helped her. And I was like, wow, because I haven't had hardly any information with the two. But now I have this book and I can share that with you, like I say, in class.
What is the name of that book again?
It's called Drug Muggers.
Drugged Mothers?
Mugger or ERS. Drug Muggers. This one I went up to Savannah, Mildred. I went up to Savannah for the meeting we had, and I met one of the managers up there. She talked about this book, and she was saying something. I was like, what? So I caught it and I got the name from her and I bought me a copy.
Okay, I need a copy. Where'd you get it?
Online. Well,
online. Where else?
Internet.
I hear you.
It probably came up through Amazon or something.
Okay, Drug Mothers. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to, my company even warns me because sometimes, with social media, I got a YouTube channel. Actually, the things I put out on there, sometimes they're pulling my chain, on YouTube about some stuff because I had stuff on cancer. I had a lot of stuff on cancer.
And we can't do that.
Yeah, well, they pulled my chain because just using the name, cancer, whatever, how I had it titled, it wasn't copacetic for them because I can get this company in trouble by putting stuff on my YouTube channel, not presenting it the right way. And so they saw it and they, told me, you need to change this, you need to change that. So it was a lot of titles. And these are people I interviewed because I was in the media. I'm still a part of the media. And I interview people at different big health shows. And this, some of these guys are talking about cancer treatments they have. I used to go to a holistic cancer show. And they had holistic people that talk about cancer and how to heal, people. Heal. Yeah, they talk about it, not me. And they have protocols. They have hospitals. They have clinics. Some of them are here in the United States. I had a video of doctors